Discussing my common core values in both my personal life and my professional life, I decided to choose three that stood out to me the most: personal growth, appreciation, and collaboration. For personal growth, I had a few examples, but the one that stood out to me first was the learning process that I've learned in life from very early on in my education. Life is always a learning process, and I never really took that into consideration until I stepped into the professional world and really understood that mistakes happen and they're okay. The first example I have was my experience getting my other bachelor's degree, which is in musical theater. In this degree, we are always taught that there's room for improvement and that we will never be completely perfect in an audition setting or in a performance. So, from a really early on standpoint in my college career, I was taught that there's always more I can do and more I can offer, and that this process never really ends and perfection is never really completely achieved. My second example was when I started my new job at parent-infant programs doing early intervention, because this was my first time working on floor with parents and children, with parents completely present. And this is a huge learning experience, and I'm still learning every single day, and there's definitely room for improvement. And my boss tells me every day that we're human and to respect that and trust the process, and that's really helped me with that specific value. My second is appreciation, and this is something that I definitely practice every day in the job I still have. While I was training, we learned about a theory called schema theory, which is stepping back into the lens and kind of viewing the family that we work with, but not ever judging or relating them to how we were raised, because every family is very different than our own, and we're just there as a support system and a helping hand. Another example I had of appreciation was appreciating families, which I do every day. Every single day I go in, I make sure to really tell them what they're doing right and really praise them and give them a super positive environment to be in, because raising a child is hard, and I really try to make sure that they know that they are appreciated for all the work that they do. And appreciation also hits home for my family as well, because the jobs that I have and the families that I see really make me grateful for the family that I grew up with and how fortunate I was to have so many possibilities and very supportive parents. The third value I created and decided to choose was collaboration. And this started pretty much as a child as well for me, but the biggest example I have was talking about and reflecting back onto my high school experience. I went to a charter academy, and our philosophy was completely based around group presentations and leadership abilities. So our grade was strictly based on group projects, group presentations, group speeches, and this really got me going with expressing my leadership abilities, but also collaborating in a group setting in order to be successful. Another example I had of collaboration is also in my current job, because I am now experiencing what it's like to collaborate with parents, as well as children, as well as siblings, and then adding on coworkers and my manager. So all of us together is kind of where the final product is, and if I'm just working, I'm not completely getting what I want out of my work, and I really need my full team there and the parents and the children present, as well as my manager, to get everything completed and have a successful session in my therapy.